Moonlight streamed through the dusty attic window of the creaky old Hawthorne house, illuminating Casper. A small ghost wispier than a dandelion seed tonight was another attempt. Another failure. He drifted down to the master bedroom, focusing all his spectral energy. Boo! He whispered, the sound vanishing like smoke. He tried rattling a picture frame. It merely tilted slightly. The elderly man sleeping soundly within, Mr. Higgins, snorted softly and rolled over Casper's side. A sound like a deflating balloon. He was the worst ghost in the spectral chronicles, incapable of even a decent chill, let alone a blood-curdling scream. He felt transparent in more ways than one. A lonely wisp drifting through the empty halls of his designated haunting ground night after night. Followed the same pattern. Casper practiced moans in the empty ballroom, but they emerged as faint, melancholic sighs. He tried manifesting as a terrifying apparition, but the best he could manage was a vague, shimmering outline easily mistaken for moonlight on fog. Frustration warred with a deeper sadness. Within him, he watched other ghosts effortlessly send shivers down spines and felt a profound sense of inadequacy. Was he broken? Did he lack some essential ghostly ingredient? The vast, silent house seemed to echo his loneliness, its creaks and groans a constant reminder of his own failed attempts to make any significant sound. One particularly quiet evening, Casper drifted near the library inside. Mr. Higgins sat hunched in his favorite armchair, a worn quilt around his shoulders, staring not at a book, but into the flickering flames of a small fire. The air around him felt heavy, thick with a quiet sorrow Casper had never noticed before. He wasn't sleeping. He looked deeply, achingly lonely. Casper forgot about scaring. He hovered unseen near the bookshelves, observing the old Maneuro's stillness. The way his gnarled hand absently traced the faded pattern on the quilt, it was a different kind of chill in the air. One born of human solitude, driven by a sudden impulse stronger than any desire to frighten. Casper gently nudged a forgotten, soft woolen blanket draped over a nearby chair. It floated silently towards Mr. Higgins. Landing softly on his lap, the old man started, then looked down at the blanket, a flicker of surprise softening his weary features. Well, hello there, he murmured, pulling the blanket closer. Thought I felt a draft. He looked around the room, his gaze not fearful, but almost expectant. Casper, emboldened, focused on a dusty teacup sitting cold on a side table with immense concentration. He directed the faintest wisp of warm air, not a cold spot, but a gentle warmth, towards the cup. A tiny curl of steam miraculously rose from the cold tea. Mr. Higgins blinked, a slow, genuine smile spreading across his face. Curiouser and curiouser, he whispered. That small act sparked a change Casper never anticipated. He stopped trying to be terrifying. Instead, he became a quiet, comforting presence. He'd find Mr. Higgins' misplaced reading glasses and leave them gleaming on the mantelpiece on chilly nights. He'd gently nudge the logs in the fireplace, making the flames dance brighter. He'd rustle the curtains just so, letting in a perfect beam of moonlight to illuminate Mr. Higgins' book. He discovered a hidden talent for finding lost things, a dropped button, a favorite bookmark, a missing slipper, always returning them to obvious, helpful spots. Mr. Higgins never saw him clearly, but he began speaking softly to the empty air. Thank you for finding my glasses, friend. Or that's a cozy warmth by the fire tonight. A comfortable companionship blossomed in the quiet house. Mr. Higgins started leaving out a small, ornate cup filled with steaming chamomile tea on the library table every evening, just in case. Casper would swirl the steam into playful shapes, little hearts, birds, stars, a silent language of appreciation. The old man would chuckle, a warm, rich sound that filled the rooms much more effectively than any ghostly moan ever could. Casper learned about Mr. Higgins' late wife, his love for gardening now hampered by age, his fondness for old poetry. He listened, a spectral confidant, his presence a balm to the old man's loneliness. One peaceful evening, Mr. Higgins settled deeper into his armchair, a book of sonnets open but unread on his lap, the fire casting dancing shadows Casper, filled with a contentment deeper than any spectral achievement. Gathered the faintest essence of moonlight filtering through the window, he wove it gently around the old man, not a cold shroud, but a soft, shimmering blanket of pure, comforting light. Mr. Higgins sighed, a sound of utter peace. "Good night, my gentle friend," he whispered, his eyes drifting closed, a serene smile on his face. Casper watched over him, a silent guardian in the quiet room. He finally understood he wasn't a failure as a ghost. He was simply a different kind of spirit. His purpose wasn't to bring fear, but to offer solace, companionship, and quiet acts of kindness in the moonlit hours. He was the ghost who was terrible at scaring people, and that was perfectly, beautifully all right. The creaky old house felt like a home, warmed by an unlikely, tender friendship.